Hello, my friends. I gotta say hello, but now we're gonna talk about an introduction about what about our thoughts about what is happening in Franja de Gaza. And now I am with a friend of mine from United States. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Bhavik Raval. I am a student at a university in America. I'm here on a 2-week study abroad in Chile, and I'm doing an interview about Gaza.
Yes, of course. What do you think, as international citizen, the situation specifically the kids are living in Gaza? Because we are um, annoying. This situation is impact. It's annoying, especially when we are suffering kids.
Yes. So I think I'll preface with this. I think that Hamas was very wrong for attacking Israel.
First of all, yes.
First of all, I think that was a terrible mistake, terrible thing to do, and I don't condone any sort of violence. I do, however, think that over the course of attempts of diplomatic efforts, I do think Israel is overstepping in some senses, where when multiple aid has been trying to be pushed and trying to allow for the kids and the women in the shelter and the hospital to receive care, I think it's bad when you are constantly carpet bombing the entire place. I think that's not a good thing.
Because they are civilians.
Right, it is civilians. Unfortunately, to kill terrorists, you must also do selective strikes, but Israel is not doing a very good job with that. I think that a more diplomatic approach with peace on both sides should be administered.
What do you think about the relationship between the United States and Israel? Because we know Benjamin Netanyahu have to take up warnings.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to see kids suffering, continue suffering.
Right.
But if the rest of the countries, Muslim countries, would have attack
Right.
to Israel,
Right.
do you think the United States going to defend Israel?
So my thought process is what Franklin Roosevelt or FDR and has always said, or not Franklin Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. He'd always talked about big stick diplomacy, which is you come packing with a big punch. However, I do think that because the U.S. has the means to pack a big punch, I also think that means we should have a big heart with big compassion. We need to understand where both sides are coming from, and we need to be the intermediary. The issue is when we constantly send our money to this country that is, trying to basically excavate the whole ground, I think it makes it harder for either side to feel ends meet. I understand President Trump is trying to, bring down the tension, right? President Netanyahu obviously feels very passionate about Israelis and their citizens, but I think in some senses it takes a step too far when you hurt civilians. The unfortunate thing, though, however, I will say, in a state of war, nobody survives. President Obama has said this, other presidents have said this, that it's a very tough time for everybody. So my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who is affected by it, both
Obviously.
American, Israeli, and Palestinian. I think no side deserves to die. Unfortunately, we have people that break the peace treaties and whatnot, but I think at the end of the day, peace is the only option to get out of these tough situations.
And stop the war.
And stop the war, yes.
Okay, very well. Last question. I have a last question. Come here.
Okay.
Come here.
Okay.
Here. Because when I see. Okay, civilians and all the rest of the world wants to stop the war, obviously, of the Netanyahu position, right?
Yeah.
International position. But the moment that we are living as citizens of the world is critical, because the world could be very soon, we think, fifth world.
At the end of the day, right? War is not good for anybody. War doesn't help anybody.
You're a believer? You kind of believer in God?
Yes, I believe that God will take care of people that He.
What does His prophecy say about it?
So, well, I'm a Hindu, so my thought process on is that people will reap the actions of their karma, but at the same time, God also helps those with a good heart. So if you do anything in life, you should do it with a good heart, and obviously God is the all doer. He knows who's doing good and He knows who's doing wrong. It's not our place to be the judge, jury, or the executioner, but unfortunately in war, people already make those decisions, and we are forced to live with them. That's why I as a Hindu just pray for peace, in world peace. That's what my guru has told me.
That is the goal. That is the goal for the rest of the world.
Yes.
The international community and civilian wants the peaceful time.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Bhavik Raval. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, no. Well, I gotta say goodbye, but it was so important. We need to know what about the thoughts or we're thinking in the United States or Chile or everywhere, as international community about the situation in Gaza because thousands, 14,000 kids are suffering, hungry. It's not possible.